Hello, I'm Wayne with Digital Chatter, and in this video I'll be talking about keeping your PC running smoothly. Now, those of us who depend on our computers daily to keep our businesses running, we need them to run smoothly. But on top of everything else that requires our attention, we don't really want to have to think about keeping our computers operating properly. We want them to take care of themselves. But like our cars, they require some maintenance on a regular interval to keep operating smoothly. In my article, Proven PC Optimization Methods to Keep Your PC Running Smoothly, I describe what is involved to keep them running smoothly. So in this video, I want to talk about how IOBit Advanced SystemCare can simplify that task. Now, to be clear, this is not a review of Advanced SystemCare or ASC, but it's rather a recommendation. It's based on over 10 years of software use with ASC. You know, you'll find some reviewers on YouTube reviewing ASC who really haven't spent the time with it. They've done a precursory review of it for their report, but no long-term use of the software. And in the years that I've been using ASC, my computer has never been infected with a virus or malware. I've never had a computer crash or a significant problem that proper maintenance that ASC can provide could have prevented. So before I talk about what ASC can do for you, let's discuss the basic maintenance that's necessary to keep your PC running smoothly. Then we'll show how ASC can address these tasks. Now, here is a suggested maintenance schedule that can keep your PC running smoothly. Now, I presume that few of us will actually stay on track with a schedule like this for very long, and myself included. But what this schedule does for us is highlight the necessary maintenance tasks to keep our computers healthy. While I don't keep a tight schedule, I cover these tasks regularly. It's like changing the oil in your car. It might be recommended to be changed every 5,000 miles, but you know, we may go 5,500 or 6,000 miles on occasion. But we do it regularly, and that's the point. So as I run through this list, I really want to highlight the task more than the schedule. So for instance, look here at the weekly task. It includes running an antivirus scan to delete unnecessary files by emptying the recycle bin to update software and drivers. Under the monthly task, we have to run a antivirus scan. We want to use a defragment tool to clean up our hard drive. We want to review and manage our startup programs. On a quarterly basis, we want to back up important files and documents. We want to check that our software is updated. And we want to run hardware diagnostics. Then yearly, we want to consider upgrading hardware components if necessary. Now for me, hardware upgrades are related more to hardware failure or the desire for better performance than it is on just a routine consideration. Now, it could be considered routinely. For instance, I might want to routinely upgrade the hard drive because it has several years of use and is more susceptible now to a crash. But that's just not the way I operate. Changing out a hard drive is no easier before or after a crash. I use regular backups to prepare for a crash that might happen at any time. So I wait to see if the crash happens and then deal with it when it comes because I'm ready. And often it never comes. The hard drive, a lot of times, is still there operating when I upgrade the computer for a new one. So any hardware upgrades I make, other than for a failure, are for the purpose of better performance. On numerous occasions, I've upgraded a hard drive for more storage. I've upgraded RAM memory or graphic card because I wanted better performance. Now another task is to review your PC's overall performance, make necessary adjustments, and then registry cleanup. Now this maybe is not as important as it once was, but it still needs attention. There are those who recommend the registry be cleaned only if there is a problem that nothing else will solve. And this is because a bad registry cleanup can do more harm than it can good. So it makes it important that we back up the registry before we do a cleanup. But I've just simply found over the years that an optimized or a clean registry is important to the smooth operation of my PC. All right, so let's get into how ASC can address my maintenance needs. Again, I want to explain that what we're aiming for here. We're not doing a review, but we're not doing a comparison with other software, but rather we're doing a demonstration of how ASC can address your maintenance needs and mine. If you're not yet giving sufficient attention to your computer maintenance needs, then you will learn from this how you can benefit from ASC or other maintenance software. If my experience with people needing help with their computers is any indication, most individuals who use computers regularly do not pay attention to its maintenance. And if you have a home business and you rely on your computer for that business, you really cannot leave it to chance that your computer will always run efficiently without attention to maintenance. Yet adding this task to everything else that's on your plate seems overwhelming. But with a bit of time initially spent finding the right software, installing and configuring it, then this will take the pressure off of you going forward. So we're in the ASC dashboard here, and we're ready to scan the computer. Now I have a choice here to make concerning which approach we're going to take. Are we going to take the manual approach in which I can select the task that I want to run? For instance, we can decide whether to do privacy sweep, system optimization, antivirus protection, spyware removal, junk file clean, and so forth. Or we can select all of them and run all of them. And then when we get to the end, we'll decide what fixes we're going to accept or not accept. Okay, we can then also choose to go with the AI mode, which is artificial intelligence, and it will choose automatically what tasks to run based on the status of my PC using AI to make that decision. Then at the end of the scan, we can have it fix those, make those fixes automatically if we choose. So I'm going to run the AI mode. I'm going to uncheck the auto fix option, and then when we get to the end, we'll look back and see what it's covered, what needs fixing, and what we're going to do about it. Okay, so the scan is complete now, and we can see over here the discoveries, privacy traces over 12,000 and so forth. Several of these checked good down the line. We notice right here that we have an item that needs to be fixed manually. So we can click here and go see what we need to do about that. You can see here that we have cleaned up over a gig of files that have been freed up and 52 items that have been optimized to improve. So since we unselected the automatic fix, we can now click to have these items all fixed. So we'll do that. All right, and it has completed that process, and we can now click on Finish. And that takes care of our scan. Okay, so now we're back in the dashboard of ASC, and notice on the left side menu at the top is Care, and that's what we just did. The Care part does the scan. The next part is the Speed Up, and under the Speed Up we have Turbo Boost, which allows us to stop programs that are running that are unnecessary present time, and that releases resources for those things that we actually are needing. There's also the hardware accelerator. This feature opens another IOBit app that will update drivers. Then we have real-time tune-up, and with this we can turn on a monitor that shows at the top of right of our screen, and with this we can see what is actually using our memory and our CPU activity and so forth. We can also make real-time RAM clearances. We've got a startup optimizer. This allows us to choose what apps will automatically launch when the computer starts. If we can keep this list of startup programs to a minimum, then the computer will start up faster and it will be given out fewer resources for apps that we don't need at the time. We can launch them when we need them. We also have an app extension cleaner. This feature opens another IOBit app, which is the uninstaller. And using the uninstaller of IOBit instead of the built-in Windows uninstaller, we can sometimes clean up more of the unnecessary files that get left behind when we do a software uninstall. And then we have more optimization tools. So you can look through this list here. There's a VPN, there's a data recovery, password manager. You get on into the uninstaller, driver booster, and you just look across that page. Almost anything you need, both for maintenance and also for repair. So just wanted to show you what's available there. All right, back to the dashboard, and on our menu the next item is Protect. And you can see some good options here. Under the system protection, we have malware fighter, Windows firewall, and anti-spyware. And you want to turn that on, keep your computer safe. Then we have the browser protection. And then there is the privacy protection. And also security and repair tools, which would take us back to the list of tools that we just got through looking at. So now back over to our menu on the left, we have the software updater, and here we can just browse through what software. Mine is all up to date, so nothing to do there. And then we have the Action Center, and in the Action Center you have some of their products that they're promoting, and they'll offer you some discounts on some of those products, and you'll also see what products that you already have installed. Now the next thing that we want to do is to automatically schedule this maintenance. So let's get into that. We're going to go up here on the right, click the menu, come down to Settings, and here we have some options that we can choose to keep our computer running smoothly. So now that you know what ASC can do to maintain your computer health, if we will set up these as automatic tasks, you won't have to think about them. And that's really the big point of this video, after all. It's not just about having a tool to keep your computer healthy. It's also about a tool that will push these tasks to the background so you can focus on more important issues. You know, the key to successfully running a business is to keep unimportant issues from becoming urgent, because urgent tasks tend to override less urgent but more important tasks. So allow ASC to keep your computer fixes off the urgent list. All right, so that said, let's start working through our settings here. All right, so we start with the general settings, and I'm just going to leave these default settings as they are. The next item, will be anti-spyware, and I do want to be sure that this is enabled. And notice the window down here, I can include items that I don't want it to scan for spyware. Now, why would I not want it to scan? Well, one example, for instance, in my case, I'm a website developer. I have a lot of HTML files on my computer, and when I get to moving those around, I start getting these warnings of suspicious files, and they're my HTML files or Java files and so forth, JavaScript. And I know what they are, and I know they're safe, so I don't want to have to deal with that, and I can keep those from being scanned. Okay, let's go on next to clean and optimize, and here we have spyware removal, and we can make choices about what to do with it when it's found. Registry clean, what items do we want it to clean out, and do we want it to do a deep clean? I'm going to go ahead and check that. Privacy sweep, what items do we want it to check? And I can go through and select these. I need to do that, but won't take the time right now. Junk file clean, what do I want it to clean? Some things already checked there. System optimization, do I want basic optimization? Daily use for the home user, top performance for the home user, or office work, business user, and that's what I'm going to set it on. Internet boost, advanced network optimization here. Security reinforcement. And I use a VPN, so I'm not going to check this. Here we have a vulnerability fix. Backup downloaded files, and then we have disk optimization, and this will get into our defragging, and I do want to enable defragment optimization. All right, get on to automatic service. We want enable auto care for your computer when the system is idle, or do we want to set it on a schedule? Auto clean, and this we can click down here and it will take the same settings that we selected earlier. Auto update, and I'm going to have it automatically update SystemCare. For the updater, if you don't have it, we're going to have it do that automatically too. All right. Auto RAM clean, I'm going to enable that. Any items I want to ignore that will not be scanned. And okay, notifications, all of those are set. All right, we just click OK and we're out of that. Okay, so that's our overview of IOBit Advanced SystemCare maintenance software. Now, just to let you know, I don't benefit if you buy, so you know that my recommendation is not biased, at least from that standpoint. It may be biased because it's what I use. But with our automatic setup completed, you're now on your way to smooth and efficient computing. And whether or not you use ASC, I encourage you to get started with maintenance software immediately and ensure that you operate with a healthy PC. Now, if you find this video helpful, smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, I want to remind you of another article I have called Streamlining Data Storage for Small Business, which will give you ideas to help you with file backup and storage. Thank you for watching.